Hi there, it's Ruth from Artful Stamping. I'm going to be using these two stamp sets today for my One Sheet Wonder Wednesday. Okay, so this is my second week of doing this and I'm really excited. I've got loads of different ideas in my head that I want to share with you. Anyway, so we've got these two stamp sets. We've got Work of Art and Flower Patch. Now I have to confess, I don't actually own these stamp sets. I have borrowed these from some Stampin' Up friends. One is my Stampin' Up sister. Thank you, Julie. Big shout out to you. And this one is from my downline, Tanya. And thank you very much, Tanya, for lending me this today. And yeah, anyway, I'm just going to get on with it. I'm really excited. So what I'm going to do this week, I think, because last week when I did my video, I ended up shooting about 16 minutes and then having to edit it and so on YouTube, on actual YouTube, which is really clever, but it takes up a little bit of time. So this week I am going to do some stamping and then kind of pause my video and just carry on stamping and then carry on, and so you'll get to see like how it looks when I've done a few bits of stamping, so that you don't get bored, basically. Okay, so today we're going to be using Pool Party, a Blushing Bride, a Crumb Cake, Pink Pirouette and Sahara Sand. So very kind of gentle colours, and I'm not going to, I don't want to spoil it and tell you kind of what I'm planning. I'm just going to get on and do it. Okay, so from the Work of Art stamp set, I've got the long, thin kind of stripe here, okay? And I'm going to start stamping, and people who have watched my videos before will maybe recognise this technique that I'm using. I think I used it with the Lotus Blossom stamp set that came out with a celebration. So that was done on a slightly smaller scale, so this is a slightly larger scale. I've got a sort of idea in my head, but not quite sure where it's going to go, so I'm just going to get on and do it and hope for the best. Okay, so I finished doing my ginghamy stripey effect with Pool Party. I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and I'm going to grab one of the flowers from the Flower Patch stamp set. I'm going to be using Blushing Bride for this. So the really lovely thing about this stamp set is that you can kind of create flowers with the elements that they've given you, and you know, it's just really good fun having a play with all the different designs and seeing what comes up. So I'm just going to stamp a few of these, and then I'm going to be doing the centres with another colour. This is how my paper looks now before I do the centres. So I'm just going to grab Crumb Cake. I'm going to do the centres to these. I don't think there's any kind of hard and fast way of doing this. Like, it's a case of just going for it and aiming in the middle. Maybe moving the stamp around, you know, turning it so that you haven't always got the design facing the same direction. Just makes it not look so uniform. I don't think I'm going to edit this out because I'm getting on with this quite fast, aren't I? So, okay. Alright, so let's set that aside. And then I'm going to use Pink Pirouette for this other flower that I want to use to fill up some of the spaces. Right, so I finished doing the pink Pirouette flowers now, and I'm going to use Blushing Bride to do the centres. Okay. Wow, did that go quite quickly, didn't I? Okay, so I want to fill in some of the gaps with some leaves. So I've got the leaf image here. I don't really want to use the kind of the long stem part of that. I really want to just mainly use the top part, so I'm just going to be very careful how I ink it up. So as you can see, I'm not being careful not to ink up the rest of that stem. Okay, so now I want some of the leaves to actually come over the gingham, because I think the gingham's a bit of a... oh no, I've just gone and inked. Haha! I'll just clean that off. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't want the gingham to be so square, if that makes sense. So I want to stamp into it. Okay, so now I am going to use that long one there and just get that there like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to clean that off again there. Around. And I think I'll just do a bit of stamping and I'll come back a bit later. Right, so I've done the crumb cake leaves, the kind of more slim leaves, and I want to fill a little bit more in with a more solid shaped leaf here, and have those coming away from the flower, the pink Pirouette flowers. So I think I'm going to do a stamp and stamp off technique, just to get a little bit more texture on here. So you stamp, and then stamp again, stamp, and then stamp again. Right, so I've done the little leaves, and I want to just add a little few dotty type effects around. So I think I'm just going to do these little dots in sort of clusters. Oops. Of about 3, just dotted around. As I said, I'm very grateful to my fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. I met up with a couple of my downline today, a bit of an impromptu stamping session, and I have to say it was very good fun and very enjoyable, and it's one of the really enjoyable things about being a demonstrator, meeting people who like to get together and do a bit of crafting and you know, share lives and chat about, you know, what's going on in our lives, and it's a very, very precious thing. It's really, really, really enjoyable, and I think I would have to say one of my other favourite things about being a demonstrator is just showing people how they can be creative and giving them the opportunity to express their creativity and realise that perhaps they can do things they never thought they could do when they're given really, or not given, but have the opportunity to use really great products. So yeah, I guess that's partly why I love Stampin' Up! And being a demonstrator. Okay, so let me have a look. When you're doing any work like this, one sheet wonder type things, it's always good just to take a break and kind of take in the whole kind of piece of work that you're doing. So, for example, right now I'm looking at where I'm putting these dots, and I can see that I scattered them there, but I've got some gaps here, so that's where I'm going to be now aiming for to fill some of these gaps. And also where, if you've got ink where you perhaps didn't really want it to be, it's quite a good way to cover up those mistakes now with some extra little sort of stamps. So, gonna add those. Right, I'm actually going to be chopping this piece of paper up. This is a Whisper White, by the way, that I'm using to make some really quick and easy little boxes that I think would look fantastic as kind of favour boxes for weddings. And you can get 3 out of 1 sheet of A4, which I think is an absolute bargain. The Whisper White card and the Very Vanilla card is I think it's £7.50 for 40 sheets, so you can do the sums. Anyway, it works out the less than 20p a sheet. That's all I know. So if you get 3 boxes for 20p, I think that's pretty marvellous. And then just add a little bit of ribbon, which again is a few pence. And yeah, so I'm really keen for any brides or brides-to-be to get in contact with me so I can help them plan their wedding stationery, because I tell you what, there isn't anything, well, I think it's really fun. I don't know if you think it's fun, but I think it's really fun to get together with some girlfriends and make some wedding invitations together. Right, so that's my sheet. I think I'm going to leave it there for now because, to be honest, it's late on Tuesday night because I'm filming this ready to upload overnight so that you can have it for Wednesday. So I am going to be making some boxes. So what I do is I'm going to open the arm out. So I need to make rectangles of 9 by 18. So I'm going to chop off, oh, it seems sad to let some of this go, but anyway, I can always use it to embellish something. This little strip here. Okay, nothing's wasted. So I'm going to cut that off there. Okay, and even that is actually really pretty, isn't it? You know, you can just put that a little strip along the bottom of a card or something and decorate that, and that'll look lovely. Right, I'm going to put that to one side. I'm not going to weep over that. Right, so let's close my arm here. I'm going to cut at 9. Oh, now before I do that, I'm going to score. I remembered because I did this afternoon and I didn't score and it was a bit annoying. Okay, so I'm going to score at 9. So I've cut, just to recap, I've cut, this is 18 centimetres long. I'm going to score at 9 centimetres. Then I'm going to cut at 9. And then cut at 9. And then cut at 9 again. And again, we've got a little strip here that can be used for something else. I'm only going to make one box in front of you now. So before I get making, we need to do a couple more scores. So I'm going to score at 4.5 centimetres, and all I'm going to do is just catch the top of the card there, and then go to the bottom and just get the bottom bit there. And the reason why I do that is so that I can line up the score line. I don't know how clear it is in this light, but the score line across here, I need to meet up with the score line across there to make a triangle. And you know what? I should know what type of triangle that is, but it's late. And it's been a few years since I didn't, you know, I can't see that properly in this light, so I am going to cheat a little bit and maybe get a little pencil. Oh, a green, is that a green pencil? Oh, I'm going to make a little tiny mark there and a little tiny mark there, because I just know if I don't do this I'm going to be here all evening. Right, and what I'm going to do is line up then my score, where I know it's going to score, with the line at the top and then the score in the middle there. Score. and then line that up there with one there, and score. Now I have to confess that this box is not my design. I don't know who the absolute originator of it is. I don't think I could ever find out who the first person that ever created this box was. But I have to say that I saw it at my other downline, Lindsay's house, the other week, and I thought it was just amazing. I saw it made up, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how on earth she made it, and then she undid it, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's so simple. So, just to recap, got a rectangle that's 9 by 18, score at 9, and then score from the middle of the card there, down to there to there, and then there to there, and there to there. Okay, all we do now is literally fold up these, and then we're going to pop those together, and using my punch, which is the, it doesn't say on it, anyway, I think it's one of the larger hole punches. I'm really sorry, I can't remember what it is. I'll write it on my blog when I've uploaded this. Okay, so I'm just going to insert it about there. Ooh. Punch. And then punch. Okay. And ribbon. Okay, so there we have it. One Sheet Wonder triangle boxes, or you can use your One Sheet Wonders for whatever you want, but that's what I've made with mine, and I think that's so cute, and that would look lovely on a wedding table filled with your sugared almonds or whatever you fancy putting in there. So I'm going to just bring back my other sheet so that you can see the overall design. And anyway, have fun with your One Sheet Wonders and playing with your stamps. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.